Hello and welcome to the Tiny Vet Podcast. I am Dr. Nicole Sue. I'm a veterinarian and my partner who is currently looking at the timer.
Oh, the timer turned off.
And it turned off.
Yeah, it's all right.
Bamboozled.
I'll time this separately. Yeah.
Boozles have been bambled.
Hello, Boozles Bambled. My name's Boozled Bambled. And yes, I'm comedian Jez Watts. Hello. Days ago, we had our yearly rent inspection, which just goes to show that however difficult life becomes, it's never so difficult that one is not able to conceal a pair of rabbits, 40 variously engorged possums.
Not 40.
And 1,000 bugs.
Yeah, we have a fruit fly problem.
Hello, my love. I mean, I've done some good work to minimize that. But what are we talking about today?
FIV.
Oh, that's fun. Cat AIDS.
I know. Cat AIDS, yeah.
Yeah, I know one cat with AIDS, and he's my favorite cat.
He's a great cat.
Yeah.
But also, he's a really good, ambassador for cat AIDS. Be like, look.
Ambassador? I mean, I don't know that he could be appointed to office, but he's a simple cat. He's charming as hell, but he shouldn't be speaking at the United Nation of Cats.
But also, he's 10, 11 or something, and he's going great.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's very healthy. I mean, I think he's lucky to have good parents.
Oh, for sure. But
hello, Artie, if you're listening.
Hey, Artie. But also that, may not necessarily be a barrier to adopting a cat or something.
Right, yeah.
So what cat AIDS is, so feline immunodeficiency virus, usually it's transmitted by fight wounds.
Yes.
So saliva.
Well, he was a street cat before he was adopted.
Yeah.
So that's likely how we got it.
Exactly. And sometimes it can be transmitted vertically, so from mother cats to the kittens.
Yeah, okay.
As well, but not as much as, say, what we think about in people.
Yep.
And a lot of these cats can be asymptomatic their whole life, provided that they don't have other infections. So there's also feline leukemia virus.
Yep.
That can complicate cats that are positive for both as well.
Yeah, sure.
Some, will eventually become gradually more and more immunosuppressed, but often a lot of these cats can live really good, happy, healthy lives.
Yeah.
Now, the main thing is it then does have implications on having other cats in the household.
Yeah, of course.
So usually if you have an FIV positive cat, then you're going to have just a household full of FIV positive cats. So you adopt other cats. No, that you're trans...
I think the reason I laugh is that at no point were you like, oh, limit yourself to one cat.
Or
you were just like, oh, yeah, so you're going to want to get a dozen cats with cat
all
AIDS.
with FIV,
Yes.
Because now you have, exactly.
Yeah, that's why I laugh. It's ridiculous that you would be like, so therefore you have to get lots of cats with cat AIDS. It's like, no, you just have one cat, which is a normal amount of cats for people to have, I think.
Well, no.
But yes, if you're going to get any more cats, I have to have cat AIDS. Also.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of works out well because, they do sometimes have problems getting adopted. So that is kind of the major consideration.
Sure.
Now, the other consideration as well is they have to be indoor cats.
Well, yeah, I think we had a previous episode.
Yeah.
All cats should be indoor cats.
All cats should be indoor cats.
But these ones for real.
For sure,
yeah.
And, like we probably said in the previous episode, there's so many good alternatives. You can build catios. You can cat-proof your backyard. So it doesn't mean that, your cat can never see the light of day. You just have to take precautions.
Yeah. Also, inside's better than outside.
So much
that's
better.
That's just my view on the world. But yeah, I think as well, you have to be really diligent about if they get any little colds or whatever, right? Yeah. So, what do you do because they have, immunosuppressed? What's the response to that then?
So regular vet checkup. So with these guys, I normally recommend 6 monthly.
Yeah, okay. For a non-FIV cat, how often is that?
About
once a year?
6 monthly to a year. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
For sure. And we probably will be running more blood testing for these guys. So either, again, 6 monthly to a year, depending on how they're looking physically.
Yeah, okay.
Running what we call a total annual health profile.
Yep.
So that includes a complete blood count, looking at the red blood cells, the white blood cells.
Yep.
And white blood cells in particular are important because that is our defense against infection, which these guys can potentially have issues with. Also looking at things like biochemistry. So, things that our liver, kidneys, everything else produce that help us gauge the function of these organs. And it's not so much, is the FIV causing problems? Is that are there any other problems that are coming up that, might make the FIV more difficult to manage, or vice versa, where the FIV is going to make that disease process potentially more
What is the
concerning.
process of managing FIV? Is it something where they're on, like, it's obviously with people, there's like a drug cocktail. If a cat has FIV, are they on medication to specifically treat that regularly?
Not really,
or it just makes them more vulnerable to other things?
Yeah, more vulnerable
right?
to other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, not really. We don't really have that kind of protocol.
Yep.
Especially because so many cats do stay asymptomatic for a long time.
Yeah, okay.
But, for example, I don't want, let's say, them to get a really bad, bladder infection, or, for example, for poor antibiotic use to cause a resistant strain of bacteria, something like that. So we just have to be really mindful of those things. And owners as well, make sure you finish a course of antibiotics, do your revisits and everything like that, so we can make sure that infection's clear. Or, for example, if you're recommending a culture and sensitivity, to make sure we get the right antibiotic the first time. So these things do carry a bit more weight with an FIV positive cat.
Yeah, okay.
And for unknown cats as well. So we have people that go, oh, I found this kitten in a dumpster and now we're keeping him. And that is fantastic news, but I always talk about testing.
Yeah,
for
okay.
FIV, FELV, these other things that may not be apparent in, a young, otherwise healthy cat.
Is that quite expensive to do?
Not really, no. So we have an in-house test.
Yeah.
Really similar to the COVID test that we are all now very familiar with. It gives us a result, positive or
Do you
negative.
have to jam it in their nose?
Luckily, no.
I was about to say, you're going to get clawed up, man.
Yeah, I have to get blood, though.
Yeah, okay.
And actually, it's not too bad, because you only need like a couple of drops of blood
Yeah, okay.
to run it, so you can...
But they do want to keep their blood inside.
They do want to keep their blood.
Which I think is a reasonable decision
a
to take.
daily problem for me.
Yeah, sure.
To be very fair. So we can run it's an ELISA test, so really similar in-house. Takes about 10 minutes. You get a positive or negative. And for positives, normally then I say, let's send a sample off a PCR to confirm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that one goes off to the lab. And the
ELISA testing, it's like a protein binding test, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so you have
I remember the thing.
the lines, you get the control line, and then you have the other line.
No, it brought me back. You haven't heard that acronym in several years.
Yeah. But yeah, the vast majority of vet clinics have these tests. So we can run them really quickly for you in-house.
Yeah, great.
But another thing that's really good to know if they're positive or negative is we often will discuss vaccination with you.
Yeah, well, sure.
So there is a vaccine for FIV.
Mm-hmm.
Hard part is that it is not the most effective vaccine. Typically, you get about 80-85% success rate.
And how long does it stay active for?
You booster it every year.
Okay.
Yeah, so you do initial course of 3 boosters, 2 weeks apart. Yep, and then you booster it every year from there.
Okay. Is that something that you recommend people get? I mean, really, if they're supposed to be indoor cats anyway, they shouldn't be exposed.
Exactly. So this is the discussion that I have.
It's like if you're a bad enough owner to let your cat outside all the time, you're also not going to get them a vaccine.
That's the hard part, right?
So if you're a good enough owner that you're doing the right thing, you don't need to get the vaccine.
Yeah, but that's the hard part, right? But it's always a discussion I have with people.
But I guess that's true with human beings as well, right? Like the ones who aren't getting their kids vaccinated suck. And also, like, they're not good parents and they've got bad genetics.
Or the other thing where, let's say, you have an FIV positive cat and FIV negative cat living together. And
in that case,
exactly,
you certainly want to get.
So it's always a discussion that I have. The other thing as well that is a personal observation, like it's completely anecdotal, but we have had an increase in vaccination reactions from the FIV vaccine as opposed to the others.
What, in the last couple of years? Or
last year, we had some more serious anaphylactic reactions that did scare us quite a lot with that vaccine. So that coupled with,
do you know what the rate is, like on the numbers, or not? You wouldn't know.
No, I haven't looked it up. Yeah. And I don't know if that's gone into the official, numbers or anything like that. But that was just something that we were seeing. Yeah. A little bit. So it is always a discussion that I have with the owner. Yeah. Especially with the efficacy, because with our other vaccines, we expect that the efficacy is 99.9%. For preventing disease, whereas...
I mean, 85 is not nothing, but...
It's not nothing, but it's not what we normally expect.
Yeah, just preventing the situation in which it could arise is probably... That's 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Vaccination and testing, definitely a conversation that I have with people. Because people, it's really cute. They come in with this tiny little kitten and they're like, oh, we found him at this...
Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, it's really cute.
I mean, it's cute.
And
it seems to paint a picture of a world that sucks, where it's like, why are these little kittens being abandoned?
Yeah, we do have a feral cat issue here in Australia as well.
Yeah,
So maybe something happened to mom or something. But it's a common thing. where they bring in this cute little kitten, and I'm like, oh, what's his story? And they go, we found him in a dumpster. I'm like, oh.
I mean, baby everything's are the
so
cutest
cute.
versions of those things. We got this constant parade of baby possums coming through.
So cute.
I tried to have this policy for the last several months of like not being involved with them at all because they're too cute and I would like fall in love, and then they're now just such a big part of your life that I'm like, well, I can't just
They just kept coming, man.
be involved. But then I miss them so much. They're so cute. The baby. I mean, but as they get older, they're still cute, but not as cute.
Well,
like the younger they are, the cuter they are.
Oh, so cute. Yeah.
That's not always true with human babies, but certainly with possums.
Oh, yeah. And kittens. Love kittens. But so yeah, FIV, not always a deal breaker.
Yep.
Lots of things you can do to prevent, to control if you have already.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't put you off adopting a cat.
Yeah. Cat AIDS is great.
That is not our official position. Keep your cats
we love
indoors.
cat AIDS, and there should be more cat AIDS in the world.
Keep your cat indoors. Shut up, Jez.
The Tiny Vet Podcast is independently produced.
To support us, go to patreon.com/tinyvetpod. Please like and subscribe. Hug your pets!